If you've ever tried to be the good kid and still ended up paying the highest price, let me introduce you to Leopold Butters Scotch. Butters is the sweetest, most mild-mannered kid in South Park, and life absolutely loves to torment him for it. We're talking about a boy who's been grounded more times than he can count, bullied by his best friends, locked in basements, sold to Paris Hilton, forced to endure psychotic relatives, and even almost murdered by his own parents.
You don't look tough. You're a little. You got any more money, huh? Why don't you do something about it? Do something, you little. Your grandma's.
Jeez, talk about tough love. And that's just scratching the surface. Butters has survived betrayals that would shatter most people, endured abuse disguised as comedy, and stumbled into horrors no 10-year-old should ever face. So, is Butters simply South Park's eternal punching bag, or has every single humiliation, every betrayal, been shaping him into something darker all along? Ooh. Get ready, because once we start at the beginning of Butters' story, you'll realize his tragedy is bigger, stranger, and more twisted than ever imagined. Butters began as a simple background character, a naive blonde kid humming Lou without a care. But fate pushed him into the spotlight. At the beginning of season 5, when the boys needed a new friend after Kenny died, for real that time, suddenly Butters was living the dream. He became the fourth friend alongside Stan, Kyle, and Cartman. Finally, right? Well, that lasted all of about 5 episodes. The others quickly realized that Butters was, in their own words, lame. In season 6, episode 6, the boys literally held auditions to replace Butters as their friend. In an American Idol-style elimination, they voted him out of the group for not being cool enough.
Butters, we have to have a very difficult conversation. In the months since our friend Kenny died, you have really stepped up as a friend and filled the gap, so to speak. It's just not working out. I'm afraid we're gonna have to let you go as our friend. You're just too lame. Lame, yes.
Imagine being a 10-year-old kid and your pals fire you from friendship for being dull. That kind of rejection would mess anyone up.
Please, fellas, don't fire me. Our mind is made up.
But we certainly want to thank you for coming by. You know your way out, right?
But how did Butters handle it? By having a full-on comic book villain origin moment. After being ousted, he dons tinfoil armor and a cape and declares himself Professor Chaos, dark nemesis of the world that wronged him.
Fine. If I'm to be an outcast, so be it. And I am sick of this world and the stinky people in it. I will dedicate my life to bringing chaos to the world that has rejected me. Where I go, destruction will follow. Prepare for the greatest supervillain you have ever seen, Professor Chaos!
It's both sad and adorable because Butters' idea of an evil mastermind is someone running around in aluminum foil gloves. He even recruits a sidekick, Little Dougie, aka General Disarray, and plots dastardly acts. Unfortunately, or fortunately, even his villain phase turns into a joke. In the very next episode, every evil scheme Professor Chaos comes up with, from blocking out the sun to flooding the world, had already been done on The Simpsons. The poor kid couldn't even succeed at failing originally. Even his big dramatic secret identity revealed to the boys gets totally misunderstood. They just think he's coming out as bi-curious or something. And they're like, thanks for sharing.
No.
Yeah, so?
Dude, The Simpsons have done everything already. Who cares? They've been on the air for like 13 years. Of course they've done everything.
It was even before The Simpsons.
Rejected by his friends and foiled as a villain, Butters drifts back into the boys' circle over time. Kenny comes back, and they kinda let Butters just tag along again. Despite everything, he stays loyal, eager for any crumb of acceptance. He'll still do anything to please his pals, which, as we'll see, is not a great survival strategy in South Park. Now, you might be thinking, oh, at least he has his parents to love and support him, right? About that, Butters' very own episode is where we learn that the Scotch household is just as insane as the rest of the town. For his mom and dad's anniversary, Butters wanted to surprise them with a nice present. Instead, he ends up surprising his mom with evidence that his dad is visiting gay bathhouses and porn theaters. Yeah. Little Butters innocently discovers that his father has a secret life, going to see some fellas at places like the White Swallow Spa.
Ah! Butters!
I'm glad I found told you. I think I know the perfect anniversary present for Mom.
Butters, you need to leave here right now. Go home and wait for me to talk to you.
All right, then. We'll see you at home.
When Mrs. Scotch finds out about her husband's dirty little secret, she has a full mental breakdown. Does she calmly talk it out? No. She puts Butters in the car, drives off a pier, and attempts to drown her own child in the river. As you do. She then goes home, writes a suicide note, and plans to off herself too. This woman straight up tried to murder her 8-year-old to cover up her husband's sleazy antics. That's the level of crazy we're dealing with. But here's the kicker. Butters survives. The car sinks, but he escapes. Soaked and clueless, walks home thinking nothing is wrong. He's so pure that he assumes it was an accident. Meanwhile, the entire town is searching for the missing boy, and his parents are framing some imaginary Puerto Rican guy for his disappearance. When Butters shows up alive, it all hits the fan. His mom breaks down sobbing and apologizing, and then the Stotches promptly decide to pretend none of it ever happened. They literally say, "Oh, thank heavens you're alive. We're so sorry. Now you're grounded, mister." Yep, that's right. Butters got grounded for almost being murdered by his own mom. The poor kid even apologizes to them for causing a fuss. I wish I were joking. This is the kind of loving support he gets at home.
I'd been deceiving my wife for several months.
Wait, what?
And when I found out, I went crazy. I went crazy and I drove my son into the lake to kill him.
Kill me?
This is Butters' normal. His mom and dad are insane. He could find his dad with a prostitute, get drowned, buried, resurrected, and all he would get is a, "We love you. Now go to your room forever." No wonder the kid is perpetually anxious about being grounded. It's basically his parents' answer to everything. So, with a family like that, you might hope Butters' friends treat him better. They don't. In fact, Eric Cartman, resident sociopath and Butters' buddy, might be the worst thing that ever happened to him. Butters is so eager to be liked that Cartman can talk him into anything. In the Freak Strike episode, the boys trick Butters into going on the Maury Povich show. They dress him up with a goofy disguise, including giant fake testicles hanging from his chin, so that they can win a prize for most outrageous freak. Butters, trusting his pals, goes along and ends up humiliated on national TV. And the worst part? There was no prize. Cartman lied.
Come on, Butters. Wait, why does it have to be me? If I go on Maury Povich with my balls on my chin, my parents are going to be really mad. They'll never know. I'm not Kenny. We know. We're reminded every day that you're not Kenny because Kenny was cool.
He'd put balls on his chin. He was such an awesome friend. Butters won't even put balls on his chin for us. Guess we know where we stand.
Butters was willing to become a sideshow freak for his friends, and they just laughed it off. Then we have the Casa Bonita episode. When Cartman isn't invited to Kyle's birthday at the Casa Bonita restaurant and Butters is, Cartman devises a plan. He tells Butters the world is ending, a meteor is about to hit, and he hides him in an underground bomb shelter for days.
All right, folks, this is the little boy we're looking for. Been missing for 2 days and was last seen at the school.
Dried food rations. Add water to beef-flavored square.
Butters, the sweet summer child, totally believes it. While Cartman enjoys cliff divers and enchiladas at Casa Bonita, Butters is in a dark bunker eating scraps thinking Armageddon has come. He eventually digs his way out, filthy and frightened, only to be rescued by police who inform him that it was all a lie. Butters' reaction? Firstly confusion, then righteous fury. Eric Cartman, I'm gonna kick your ass. It's one of the few times we see Butters truly angry. Cartman ends up in juvie for this stunt, but you can bet Butters got grounded anyway for somehow being involved. But how about physical harm? In the Good Times with Weapons episode, the boys play ninja and throw a real throwing star into Butters' eye. He's writhing in pain, star stuck in his eyeball, and Stan and Kyle's solution to avoid getting in trouble is to disguise Butters as a dog and take him to the vet.
Dude, oh my god! Oh, dude, it's stuck in his eye!
They cover him in fake fur and literally have him whimper on all fours. The vet's like, this is a kid in a dog costume. Take him to the hospital. By the time Butters finally gets medical help, he's traumatized and half blind for days.
Butters needs medical attention right now.
You take him to the hospital and let your mom find out what happened. Hand me the modeling glue. We need more fur over here.
These are just a few examples. I mean, every other episode it seems like someone is making Butters the butt of a joke or a scapegoat for trouble. He's been forced to burn people's gym pants, blamed for releasing political scandals, and used as live bait for monsters. And Butters, ever the people pleaser, usually just goes, oh, okay, and does it, desperate to be liked. Now, so you might wonder if Butters at least finds comfort in friends or romance outside the core group. Well, the guy tries. years, but Cupid hasn't been kind to him either. Take the Raisins episode, for example. This is South Park's version of Hooters for preteens, where the girls in tight tops flirt for tips. Butters gets his first girlfriend here, a Raisins waitress named Lexus who calls him cutie while milking him for cash.
And the bite-sized pizzazas?
Great, I'll put your order in right now. I think our Raisins girl likes me. She touched my back when she walked away. Did you see that?
He's completely smitten, and when the truth finally hits that it was all fake, he is heartbroken, absolutely devastated, crying in the rain. It's gut-wrenching until you remember he's surrounded by goth kids who revel in misery. They expect Butters to turn all nihilistic like them. Instead, Butters delivers a surprisingly deep speech. In other words, he owns his heartbreak and chooses to move on. This 10-year-old boy, who basically got a crush just to be dumped for money, handles it more maturely than most adults.
Hey, Stan. My girlfriend broke up with me.
Did she step on your heart with stiletto shoes?
Yeah.
I guess you can join up with us if you want.
No thanks. I love life. But at the same time, I'm really happy that something can make me feel that sad. It makes me feel alive, you know? The only way I can feel this sad now is if I felt something really good before.
Sadly, that optimism gets tested again and again. In the Cartman Sucks episode, Butters' clueless trust in the others lands him in perhaps the most disturbing situation yet. Thanks to one of Cartman's pranks, involving a very compromising photo with Butters, his dad becomes convinced that Butters is bi-curious. The logical parental move in South Park. Send him to a conversion therapy camp.
Butters,
Whoa, hey, Eric.
I have a surprise for you.
A surprise?
It's so awesome. It's the best surprise ever. You ready?
This ain't a trick, is it? Well, you're not gonna stick something yicky in my mouth, are you?
I'm not going to stick anything yicky in your mouth. All right, just, okay, open it. Good. Okay, here it comes.
Butters' parents send him off to a remote camp full of genuinely confused or gay kids who are being terrified into going straight. The place is so grim that kids keep committing suicide out of shame and despair, and sweet Butters has no clue what's going on. He innocently thinks that he might be bi-curious, since everyone says he is, but he's not upset about it. In fact, when his despondent roommate is about to jump off a bridge, Butters cheerfully says, hey, maybe we are confused. That's okay. If I'm bi-curious and you're bi-curious, then let's be confused together. He basically saves the kid's life with friendship and the promise of ice cream. Throughout all this, you might ask, how does Butters cope? Well, not very well, but he bottles it up like a champ. Every so often, though, that bottled up trauma explodes in bizarre ways. Remember his family? It's not just his mom and dad who give him nightmares. In the Butterballs episode, we meet Grandma Scotch, the seemingly sweet old lady who is secretly Butters' personal bully. When nobody's around, Grammy grabs Butters by the nipple, twisting it hard, whispering horrifying threats, and literally beats him up for fun.
We'll go make some tea.
Oh, some tea would be lovely. What's up?
Don't want you to pick on me no more, Grandma.
You don't look tough. You're a little. Why don't you do something about it?
She tells him that if he ever snitches, it'll be worse. He tries to speak out about bullying by making a video with Stan, but a sleazy anti-bullying counselor exploits him again for YouTube views. Finally, Butters has to handle it himself. In a chillingly funny turn, he confronts Grandma. Imagine being 10 and having to out-psychopath your 80-year-old grandma just to get some peace. But the scariest Butters moment possibly happened in the Going Native episode. Out of nowhere, Butters starts having uncontrollable anger outbursts, beating up a kid at school for chewing with his mouth open, screaming profanity, the works.
Butters, people can't just go around beating up people who have diabetes. You just think you know everything, don't you, Cap? Well, you don't know everything. You're all fake and stuck up, and none of you have the courage to tell Jimmy that his jokes aren't funny.
His parents' response is oddly specific. They claim it's a genetic Scotch family issue and take him on a trip to Hawaii to perform a ritual. Time and again, Butters does something wild without ever losing that childlike goodness. He's been a minion to chaos, an anti-bullying icon, a vampire, and a tap dance murderer. Yeah, he accidentally killed a dozen people in a tap dance fiasco once. Don't read into it. But he's still the polite kid saying, oh, hamburgers, when things go wrong. It's almost supernatural how resilient he is. Perhaps that's why the South Park creators love him so much. He's proof that even in the most cynical, messed up town on Earth, innocence never completely dies.